Okay, I know what you're going to say. Steve, you have some deep-seated hate and resentment for the 30-06. That's right, the old Springfield cartridge. It beat you up when you were a kid. It made you flinch. You hate the 30-06. Well, why would you think that? Well, Steve, you didn't come up with it being the #1 deer cartridge. I've been using it for years and years and years. Well, like I explained in my videos, there was a reason why I didn't choose it, and it was like that a lot of times, okay? We're really separating, really tiny things. But let's talk about the 30-06. It's a great cartridge. For me to say anything bad about it would be bad for that, okay? So we're going to do a little comparison today. We're going to take the 30-06 with a 150 grain bullet. We're going to take a 308 with a 150 grain bullet. We're going to take a 7mm Remington Magnum with a 150 grain bullet. And we're going to take a 270. That's right, my top pick with a 150 grain bullet. And we're going to see how the old 06 stacks up against it. Okay? For starts, the 06 bullet comes out close to 3,000 feet a second. And this is with the Federal PowerShock Blue Box, and it's Federal's information, okay? I didn't shoot it through a chronograph. I'm going with whatever they had in their test barrel, okay? So 2910 is the actual velocity coming out of the barrel. That's not bad. That's right up there. That's in that magic zone that I talked about. 308 is 100 feet a second less, 2820. Okay, I know it's 90, but it's whatever, it's 100, okay? 7mm Remington Magnum. Now, you're going to a Magnum, okay, to beat it. A Magnum. And you're only going to beat it by 200 feet a second, 3110. Okay? Now, you take the 270. Great cartridge. Same 150 grain weight. Comes out at 2830. So far, 06 is superior in muzzle velocity to the 3 normal cartridges, but it gets beat by the Magnum. Okay? 100-yard energy. Okay? For a 30-06, it's 2,279 foot-pounds. That's fantastic. Okay? Fantastic. 308's 2134. So it beats 308 by a good amount. It beats the 270 because the 270 is only 2057. You have to go to the 7mm Magnum and the extra recoil for an extra 500 foot-pounds of energy, okay? 2747. Again, to beat the 06, you need to go Magnum. Out at 200 yards, still hitting at 1,823 foot-pounds. Fantastic. Beats the 308 because the 308's only at 1,700. 270 is 1,563. And the 7mm Magnum is at 2333. Okay, so 500 foot-pounds difference. Let's take a look at 300 yards. Now, the time we're getting to 300 yards here is, 300 yards is a pretty far poke for a lot of people. Okay, let's just think about that. 300 yards, 3 football fields. 06 is still at 1,442 pounds. Killing elk, no problem at that range. 308's down to 1,341. And the only reason it's so close is because they're the same diameter bullet, one going slower than the other one. Okay? But again, it's not 1,400 like the 06. And the 270 with that long, thin 150 grain bullet that started out much slower is down at 1,166 pounds, somewhere close to 300 pounds less than the 06. So the 06 is outdoing the 270 for energy. Okay? Still 500 foot-pounds more at 300 yards for the Magnum. And I have to say it. It's a Magnum. Okay? So, 400 yards. 06 is still giving you 1,126 foot-pounds, which is plenty for a deer. Plenty. And you could even argue that it's enough for an elk. Okay, but for a deer, completely safe. We're still in the deer zone. 308's down to 1,000. Okay, you're right on the border of what a lot of people feel is enough foot-pounds of energy for a deer. 270. Now, the shock is you're now 300 foot-pounds more than a 270 at 400 yards, because even though you had that long, thin, superior ballistic coefficient bullet, the speed that it started out with is just not enough, okay? Especially because we're all 150 grain bullets, okay? Now, the Magnum is still at 1752, but again, do you really want Magnum recoil? Like I've said before, 30-06, the government decided that in a wartime situation, that's about the most recoil that anybody wants to handle. And from what I just went through, it's enough for just about any big game in North America. You see, 30-06 is really a jack of all trades. You can go way light on bullets for antelope or smaller stuff like javelina, prairie dogs, groundhogs. You can go to a heavy bullet. You can go all the way up to I think a 225. If you're going to hunt black bear at short range and you really want to pack a wallop. You know what? There's nothing at all wrong with a 30-06. That's the reason a lot of guys shoot them. And I actually like the cartridge. I would find a hard time saying anything bad about it, because you know what? It's that good. Hey, till next time, I'm Steve, and I'm not a 30-06 hater.